Ready? Are you going? Is it recording? Hey. So, back when I was just a little tyke about knee high to a grasshopper, I would stay with my dad, and my dad would sometimes let me stay with my grandpa. Grandpa was getting up there in years, right? So, and he for bedtime, he'd tuck me in, and he'd tell me a bedtime story. But like I said, he's getting up there in years, so he kind of messed the stories up. But he'd try his hardest. And so, like, sometimes he'd start off Tunce Upon a Wime, which is like Once Upon a Time, in a foreign country. Make that foreign country. There lived a beautiful girl named Rinderseller. Now, Rinderseller lived with her mugly other and her two sad blisters. And they made her wean the clindos and flub the scores and just do all the wordy dirk around the house. So, also in this foreign country, there lived a Pransome Hints. And this Pransome Hints, he's going to have himself a Bancy Fall. So, he invited all the people from Riles and Mound to come to this Bancy Fall over at the Pink's Callist, especially the pitch people. And so off they went. But on the night of this Bancy Fall was to happen, Rinderseller couldn't go. Because she had to do all the chores around the house. All she had to wear these old ruddy dags. And so she just cried down and she was sighing. She was critting there and sighing till all at once she had a pig smuff a book. There appeared before her Gary Mudfather. And he said, Rinderseller, why are you crying? So she told her Gary Mudfather, she said, that's all I got to wear is these old ruddy dags. I got to flub the windows, clean the floors, got all kinds of stuff to do still. And he says, no, I got you. And he waved his magic wand, and her old ruddy dags, they turned into a beautiful bound, covered in curls, complete with slash grippers. And she says, oh, well, this is all fine, but how am I going to get there? So he waved his magic wand again, and there appeared before her a stagecoach, complete with Hickswise horses. And she says, oh, thank you, Gary Mudfather. And she gets in and she goes off, and he says, but wait. Make sure you be back before the mid-clock strikes night, or I'll turn you into a tumpkin. She says, okay. So off she goes to this Bancy Fall. And she gets there. All the people are walking in, and guess who meets her at the front door? Guess. Pransome Hints, that's exactly right. See, he'd been watching her through the widden window, and he saw her. He came out and he grabbed her by her hand, and he said, my, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever laid eyes on. And he led her out onto the center of this dance floor, and they danced all night long. And eventually, they lull and fub. They always lull and fub in Terry fails. So right as they got to the height of their dancing, hours and hours of dancing, right? Pransome Hints leaned in for a kiss. You know what happened?
She turned back to her normal self.
The mid-clock struck night. And Rinderseller freaked out. She raced down the stairs, and just before she got to the bottom, she slopped her dripper. Thankfully, she made it home. She made it home just in time. She didn't get turned into a tumpkin. Next day, though, the Pransome Hints, he searched all over this foreign country looking for the beautiful girl who'd slapped her dripper. Eventually, he got to Rinderseller's house. And he tried it on the sad blisters. And guess what? Fitted it. And he tried it on the Gary Mudfather. Or not the Gary Mudfather. The mugly other. And it fitted it. But then, he tried it on Rinderseller. And guess what? It fitted it. So, Pransome Hints took Rinderseller back to the Pink's Callist. They got married. They lived happily ever after. But, the Storal of the Maury. You know the Storal of the Maury? Storal of the Maury is, if you're ever going to go to a Bancy Fall and have a Pransome Hints lull and fub with you, don't forget to slap your dripper. Ta-da! Rinderseller.